I learned about it actually through my parents. I was out doing drugs, and I called them wanting to come home, and they said, well, you need to go to rehab again. And I said, okay, because I wanted to get my life back. And she said, well, we're going to go to detox at College Hospital in Costa Mesa, and then you're going to go to a Sovereign Health Group in San Clemente. I have a very big background of drug use, and also my parents. They're both recovering addicts. I started drinking and using at the age of 10. I started using pot and cocaine and hallucinogenics at the age of like 11 to 13. And then when I was 13, I tried OxyContin. And then it was all over from there. It just went straight to heroin and meth. So I've been doing drugs for a long time. I didn't really have any time to look Sovereign up. I didn't have a computer. I was out on the streets doing what I do, and I kind of just learned about it through my parents, my mom actually. Sovereign's really different, actually. I always say that all the time, that it's like a different rehab. And I think because the rehabs I've been in before, they didn't have groups, they didn't have like lunches here, and it was just completely different. So when I came here and I learned about the groups, I was, kind of pissed off. But now that I'm starting to be in the groups and share, it's good. It helps me because I can get stuff off my chest. And there's other people there that have been through the same thing or a similar thing, and they can help me progress in my recovery. It was intimidating, but I think every rehab that I've been in, it's been like that, because you're going to a new place, you don't know all the people. But when I first got here, a lot of people came up to me, and it was nice to have, people come up and be friendly, and I didn't have to isolate, So I made friends really fast here, especially the girls in my house. I think my expectations of this program was just to help me learn new ways of thinking and dealing with my anger, especially, and my addiction. And also my bipolar and everything like that. And I think my expectations weren't very high. Just because I was like, oh, okay, just another rehab. Like, I'm over this. I'm just gonna go through the motions and get out and go home. But that wasn't the case. I actually got here and I actually started working on stuff with my therapist, and it's been really hard, but hard in a good way. I think you guys are still meeting my expectations. I first went to Cali Rehab House, and that's the women's detox house. I liked it very much. I didn't want to move, but eventually after 2 weeks of being there, they moved me to Ricardo, and kind of farther than the other houses, but it's nice. It's in a really, really nice neighborhood, quiet neighborhood. It's a huge house. All the girls get along great. We all work together. I love it. I've gone through a lot with the staff and my therapist. I have figured out things that I do. It's very hard because of my anger, but they get that, and they're helping me with it, especially my therapist, Lonnie. She's awesome. She's very patient with me, very kind with me, and that's what I need. Because I tend to push people away with my anger, but really I just want someone to like come up and hug me and tell me it's okay. So, and she does that. She's awesome. So, my experience with the staff has been not always good, but pretty much as I expected it to be. Well, the individual sessions with my therapist, they're good. They're 45 minutes long, so that's like a regular time for a therapist to be with a client. And it's 2 days a week, just because there's so many clients here. And I think every day would be way too hard because it pulls so much out of you. And it's in a good way though. It pulls so much out of you to help you learn about who you are and why you do the things that you do. So I think the therapy sessions are good. Well, usually we will go to the wall and see what group we're at. If I'm DD, which is dual diagnosis, I look under DD Women's calendar and it'll tell me my schedule for the day. And then also the other houses too, like DD Men's, and then like ED, eating disorder women. And it's pretty cool because you don't forget it because it's still there. So you go to the groups, you walk in, sign in, and you just sit down, and usually there's a pretty good amount of people in there. When was it? I think it was like last week sometime, that I walked into the group and there were so many people in there. But it's good because, you know, the people that you are basically living with, your family, as we call it, gets to know more about you. And you don't have to share if you don't want to, but usually the instructor, whatever it's called, will ask you questions and try and get you to talk, because that's what group is for. And then we'll get papers sometimes telling us, you know, what we're talking about, whether it's anger management or nutrition or any stuff like that we go over. And sometimes you just get a packet of paper and you just read and follow along. Other times, it's more of like a group discussion. Actually, my favorite group is art therapy. It's very therapeutic because you can just sit there and get lost in whatever you're doing, and paint, you can color, you can do anything you want. So I like that because it really helps me get my mind off of stuff. Typical day here is we wake up at 6:30, we take our meds, and then get ready. Usually on the weekdays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we leave at 9:30, leave the house at 9:30, get here by 10. And then Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, we come here at 8:30 because it's only like an hour group. So that's pretty cool. At 10, you go and look up what group you have, and if it's anger management, you will go in room 2, you go to that room. And then they're usually an hour, the groups are always an hour. After that, you leave the first group and you go to another group. You go and look at the wall, look at the calendar, and it'll be another group telling you what room it's in. So it's just groups all day, and then we have lunch at like 12, and they prepare lunches here for us. So we just go into the kitchen and sit down and eat with everyone. We can talk about stuff, and then after that we go to another group for an hour, and then we could take a break. Usually after every group we have breaks. After that, it's usually like art therapy or yoga at the end of the day, and then you're done. And sometimes we'll have one more group after like art therapy, but usually when you have yoga, you're done for the day, and then you might have one more group after art therapy, and then that's the day. So you wake up at 6:30 and you go home at like 4:30, depending on what the house managers have to do here. I think one main thing would be if I have a problem, especially because Guy is our client advocate, so we can go and talk to him about anything, literally anything you want. And I just actually went and talked to him about something with the having to do with the passes, and he said, well, I'll put in a good word for you, and I mean, that was great. So usually when I have something and I ask Sovereign to help me out with it, or to do something, or to change like my therapist or something like that, they do it. I think it will take away a lot, because it's just kind of time to get on the ball and get rolling and start my life again and not use drugs, I'm not gonna say anymore, it's day by day, and just get my life back at a job, move into my house. If a newcomer is new here, you know, they look pretty new and just intimidated, and you know, it's probably how I looked. I always go up to them and tell them, you know, if you have any questions, you can come up to me and ask me, and you know, I tell them my name, they tell me their name, and I think it makes them really like feel better.